What's up guys, Sean from the Nerd Lair here. Thanks for tuning into this video. Now today in the Nerd Lair we're going to be talking collecting tips and tricks, specifically ones that I use when I'm buying video games for my collection. And this video is brought to you by JLove81. She commented wanting to see me do a video on this. Thanks for the comment, JLove. Thanks for the support. Go check her out and leave a hashtag LoveJLove down in the comments section below. These are some of the collecting tips that me and my roommate both use when we're going to buy video games, because we do it a whole lot if you haven't seen any of my previous pickups videos. We have a mental checklist of things that we look for when we're buying games, and to make sure we get the best price possible, the best bang for our buck. So with that being said, let's get started with my first tip on collecting video games. Condition is everything. When it comes to collecting retro video games, before the rise of the plastic DVD case that held the game, games came in cardboard boxes. Naturally, over time, if it wasn't kept in good condition, like on a shelf or anything like that, the box would start to get a lot of wear. It would start to tear, dent, or just fade. And that's a big thing that I look for when I'm looking for retro games that are still in the cardboard box. I have a mental checklist that I go through which determines whether I buy it or I pass on it. I don't care how rare a game is, if the game's box is not in good condition, I will pass on it. It's not a huge deal if it's not complete, but I will not buy a loose cartridge or a loose disc for my collection. There's no point, I can't display it on a shelf, and if I can, it just doesn't look as appealing as if, I have the box for it on the shelf. Stickers are a big no-no for me. If it's a cardboard box that has an old sticker on it that if you try to peel it off, it's gonna tear away the cover art, I won't go for it. The box doesn't have to be 100% pristine, and typically I don't buy sealed games unless it's a good price, but use your best judgment with this and then determine whether you want to buy it or not. Bundle shit together. Typically this one only goes for if you're buying games at a convention or maybe a mom and pop's used video game store in your local area. But when it comes to buying at conventions, vendors are more willing to haggle with you when you bundle stuff together, because most of the time they buy all of this stuff, at bulk prices, which is a lot cheaper for them, and they're trying to make the most amount of money they can over the course of that one weekend, because, they're only there for a short amount of time. You're gonna get a better price for yourself, and you're gonna make the vendor happy because he's selling more inventory, even though he's taking a little bit of a loss, but not really, because he probably bought all this a lot cheaper than what you're paying for it. Another tip that I can't stress enough is respect the vendor. You don't want to bundle all of this stuff together and give him a lowball price and insult him. That's not how we do business. As the old saying goes, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. Help me help you. Piecing together. Going back to what I said about CIB, or complete in box, at the very least, I always make sure that the game has the box. Manuals will come separately. It's nice if it always has it, but you gotta make sure when you're buying a game that is not complete that the price reflects that. Again, this is a thing that you gotta just use your best judgment on. You could just pull up eBay prices, but I don't like doing that because online prices are always gonna be different than if you're buying it in the store. But when I say piecing together, what I mean is, if you find a rare game that the box is in pristine condition, it has the cart, maybe it has an old insert or something like that, but it doesn't have the manual, it's not that big a deal, because manuals typically are a lot cheaper than finding the actual box in good condition. Make a little eBay purchase, for games that you're missing the manuals for. You're gonna save a whole lot more money, but you're also gonna make those games that you're getting the manuals for much more valuable, because now they're complete. Never bulk buy. This tip is kind of a double-edged sword, because buying in bulk can be good and bad. For me, it's not a good thing, because I'm wasting money on games that I don't want or, don't need for my collection, because, there's 3 other games in this bulk that I really need, and that's not the way I collect. I collect what I like. It's not important to me to have a complete NES collection of every single game in the collection. It's not the way it works for me. I can live without having a Barbie game or My Horsey Adventure or, games like that. It doesn't look good on the shelf in my collection. I mainly collect, specific genres that, I played as a kid or I play today. I don't sell the games that I buy. When I buy a game, it's going in my collection forever. Support brick and mortar game stores. Maybe you don't have any local mom and pop brick and mortar game stores in your town, and that's okay. You only have a GameStop or internet. do what you want. I mean, really, it's what you have access to. You know, if you can't find any, you know, local stores like Another Castle or Pink Gorilla like I have in Seattle, you know, maybe your only option is GameStop, and that's fine. GameStop is a place where you can't really find retro games. Maybe the last gen or two, but you're not going to find like Super Nintendo, NES, Sega Genesis games, Sega Saturn, anything like that. You're going to find current gen and maybe the gen before. But supporting my local brick and mortar video game stores is something that I'm really passionate about because they're a dying breed. I think recently they might be having a little bit of a comeback because nostalgia and retro is just kind of, you know, coming back into style, which is awesome, but it's also a bad thing because it means that these stores are going to be bare with, you know, people hoarding to get all of the rare games because collecting games is coming back, and it's, again, a good and a bad thing. But it also brings new life into retro gaming because you're gonna have people that have all of these old games that, you know, they're just not into collecting anymore. They have a family, or they just don't have time or the space to collect, and they want to get some money for their rare games that they collected. They will bring them to these brick and mortar stores because they're the only place that are going to buy them and give them a fair price. And that's going to do it for this collecting tips video. If you guys enjoyed this video and want to see me do a collecting pet peeves video or maybe another collecting tips video, let me know down in the comments section. If you're new to the Nerd Lair and liked what you saw here, hit the like and subscribe button and the bell icon so you're always notified whenever I put up a video, which is at least once a week, right? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time in the Nerd Lair. Stay nostalgic.